It's Lobo season here at IHC Suspension, and not only do we have one, but we got two brand spanking new 2025 F-150s that we're going to be equipping with full IHC 3.5 ride quality kits. Hey guys, Ivan here with IHC Suspension. As I mentioned, we got two brand spanking new Lobos that we'll be equipping with IHC 3.5 ride quality kits. What I got here in front of me are all the components that we'll be installing on these trucks. Now I have it broken down into two sections. Off to my right, I have all our front components. Off to my left, I have all our rear components. Now, we understand there's a lot of options out there in the market, and I want to tell you why IHC is going to be your #1 lowering kit for this F-150. Now, my personal favorite, guys, is going to be on the front end. This is what completely separates us from everybody that's out there. So IHC manufactures custom control arms to make sure we maintain our factory strut assembly and our factory spindle to make sure we keep that factory ride. Now, the way we actually achieve the job is going to be with our lower control arm. The design of the arm has a 3-inch drop built in, which will get you that drop. Now, it is powder coated silver vein to make sure it protects it from the elements, from the snow and the salt. I know that's very important for those northern states. Now, we are running OEM size lower control arm bushings, which is impact resistance, and it's going to minimize any kind of noises. It does come with the press-in ball joint already pressed in, so you guys don't have to mess with that. And it comes with all the proper Zerk fittings so you guys can do your maintenance. As you can see on our ball joint, we got a 90-degree Zerk fittings. And then on the bottom, we have the straights to make sure you guys can do your maintenance and minimize any kind of noises. Now, this kit comes standard with upper control arms, and it's very important you guys know that because there's absolutely no notching frame pockets. So once you lower these truck, guys, remember, we got to make sure it rides like factory. You want to make sure it aligns. So IHC is going to provide you the proper components to make sure you get your alignment dialed in. There's absolutely no camber. We also got our 90-degree Zerk fittings on the top so you guys can go ahead and do your proper maintenance. And then we do have our ball joints that come with hardware so you guys can go ahead and bolt it up. So very simple, very straightforward up on the front, guys. You're literally just removing and replacing upper and lower control arms and you guys are set. Now moving on to the rear, the way you actually achieve the drop on the back end, guys, will be with your flip kit, which is what I got here right in front of me. So we are using 1/4 inch thickness, and I like to mention that because I know a lot of you guys out there are pushing some serious horsepower, like this truck back here. If you guys can see the windshield, it says Supercharged because it is equipped with the Whipple supercharger. And we got 1/4 inch thickness to make sure nothing's bending on you guys. This saddle does have the proper pinion angle built in, so you guys don't have any kind of driveline vibrations. It also comes with brand new U-bolts, so you can properly secure everything correctly. Moving on, guys, we do have our nitrogen charged drop shocks with the correct length. So you're not getting any kind of shock extenders, correct size length, so you guys don't have any issues on the back end and it rides nice and smooth. Now, my personal favorite on the back end, guys, is going to be our front lift hanger. This is necessary to make sure we get the correct height on the back of the truck, make sure we get you away from having to do a C-notch. And also, guys, this is also 1/4 inch thickness to make sure it's nice and heavy duty and make sure nothing's going to be moving on you. Now, it also comes with some standard lift shackles just to kind of get that rear height just kind of dialed in and make sure overall the truck is going to sit nice and leveled. So with that being said, guys, what we're going to do, we're going to continue with the actual install. So we're going to go ahead and get this truck up on the lift and continue with that. So we got the truck up on the lift, guys, and we already installed the IHC 3.5 ride quality kit. Now remember, as I showed you guys on the table, IHC uses custom control arms. So the way we're achieving the drop is going to be with our lower control arm, and it is a standard upper control arm to make sure we get our alignment. Now the way IHC keeps that factory ride quality is going to be by maintaining our factory strut assembly, which is our shock and the spring, and we maintain our OEM spindle. Now, I am going to show you the operating angles on the drive-on lift so you guys can look at ball joint angles, look at CV axle angles to make sure you guys are driving nice and straight. But overall, guys, like I mentioned, the front end is very straightforward. Just remove and replace upper and lower control arm, over to the alignment rack, get your alignment, and you guys are good to go. Now, let's continue to the rear. So continuing to the rear, guys, the way we achieve the drop would be with our flip kit, which consists of our saddle, which gives us our correct pinion angle. We have our top plate and our bottom plate, along with the U-bolts to make sure we secure everything. Now, one thing, as you guys see that sticks out, is we also equip this with our helper bag kit, which is going to help out the customer tremendously whenever he needs a tow or haul anything. So these are rated for 3,000 pounds on payload, and it's rated for 115 PSI. So that's one of the most frequently asked questions on the helper bag kit, but it's a great add-on. And remember, guys, it's 100% bolt-on. So no cutting, no drilling, no welding required. Now, continuing on the actual lowering kit, we also equipped it with our front lift hanger, which is going to help us to make sure we get a correct height. And then we also got our IHC drop shocks. On the back end, guys, as always, I always say it, it's very straightforward. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bolt up the wheels. I'm going to get over to the alignment rack, show suspension angles and the clearances that we have. So now we have the vehicle on the drive-on lift, and I want to show you guys the operating angle because it's very important that you guys see that. So if you come this way, remember we did the upper and lower control arms. Now what I want to show you guys are going to be ball joint angles because that's very important to make sure that they keep the same geometry and they articulate correctly so you guys don't have any kind of premature wear on any of your suspension components. So the upper and lower, right, they're completely good on the spindle. Now the next most important thing is going to be that front CV axle angle, right? Since these vehicles are four-wheel drive, we don't want any kind of premature wear on our CV axle angles, and we don't want anything kind of binding. So you guys can see here that front CV axle, it looks perfectly fine, guys. It's not going to cause any kind of concern whatsoever. Remember, factory strut, keep your factory spindle to maintain that factory ride. Another highlight, now we just did perform the alignment. Everything checked out right where it needs to be, guys. So remember, camber and toe are going to be the most important alignment angles. And we want to make sure that our caster, although it's in red, make sure that it's no more than 0.5 of a difference, which we're not. So everything checks out just fine. This is not going to have any kind of drift, any kind of pull on the road. It's going to drive just the way it's designed now. So now we're in the back end. As I mentioned earlier, guys, remember we did a flip kit. Now what I want to show you guys is how much travel do we have from our differential to our frame, right? Because that's one of the most important things. So we also did our helper bag kit, which I have completely aired it out. Now, if I take a measurement, we're got right at 4 inches, guys, from our frame to our axle, which is pretty good travel, guys, if you guys are going to be just, regular daily driving. Now, if you guys are going to haul or tow with it, then this is why we have our helper bag kit, which is a great add-on. So just pump up some air through our manual shredder valve. You can air up the back end, about 510 PSI. What that's going to do is going to do a couple things. Keep you from bottoming out, right? Keep you away from doing a C-notch. And then also whenever you do need it, because you got a haul or tow, whatever the case may be, you got it ready to go. So just as we're here looking at it, remember, flip kit, top plate, we did our saddle, which gives us our correct pinion angle. We have our bottom plate, new U-bolts. We also did our front hanger, as I mentioned, 1/4 inch to make sure that you guys are, nothing's going to move on you shift. It's over-engineered, guys, to make sure that nothing's going to pivot. Shock travel, we got plenty of shock travel, guys. Remember, we got the correct shock length to make sure we got no shock extenders. And everything just, works as designed. It's going to drive just as factory. So that's just a quick overview with suspension loaded. So what I'm going to do now is get on the ground and give you guys that final stance. All right, guys, so here you have it. This is a finished product IHC 3.5 ride quality kit on a brand spanking new 2025 F-150 Lobo. And just remember, this is a 4-wheel drive. So tire size, guys, because I know we're going to get asked, these are the stock wheels and tires. These are coming out with the 275/50 on the 22-inch wheel, which it's a nice meaty tire, which you're not going to lose any of the ride quality with going with the thinner one. And then also it fills in the fender very well. So as far as measurements, guys, we measured from the front to the back. We are an 1/8 taller in the back, which is awesome, right? Because it just overall looks real good. We're a big fan of leaving the back end just a little bit higher. And then just remember, we also equipped it with that helper bag kit. And what we did is we put the actual Schrader valve here by the fuel inlet, which makes it very easy and accessible whenever you're gonna, you know, summertime, take the boat out, load up the side-by-sides, put some four-wheelers, or simply, you know, go over to Home Depot and pick up a washer and dryer. You can still use the truck for what exactly it was intended for. Now, if you guys are interested in this kit, guys, remember, all our sales rep are truck enthusiasts just like yourselves. Just shoot over a quick DM and we'll be more than glad to help you out. Or you can also pick up the phone and give us a call at 956-424-6901. Thank you guys for watching, and you guys stay tuned for the next.